The difference is designing open loop system is very easy, simple, and the cost is also less. But in the closed loop system, internal blocks are to be carefully designed. We will have error detector, feedback signal, all these things. So the cost is also high, and design also sometimes very complex. And coming to the power consumption, in open loop power consumption is less, closed loop power consumption is more. And construction also, less number of components are there in the open loop, because only two components we have seen, controller and plant or process one and the same. But in closed loop we have feedback and error detector, all these things. And the output obtained in open loop system is inaccurate, because based on the input, whatever output is given by the system, we are supposed to take it. We cannot change the output, do any adjustments for the output. If at all we need a different kind of output, we have to change the input. Overall input only we have to make changes. So the output whatever obtained, it is inaccurate, unreliable. But in the closed loop system, accuracy is high, because there is some adjustment happening internally in order to meet the expected output. In order to provide the expected output, the entire setup will do internal operations. So output obtained will be more accurate compared to the open loop system. And stability is high in closed loop system, because the fluctuations, stability, fluctuations are very less. Whatever input given, it will straight away give some output. So fluctuations less and stability is more in the open loop system. But in closed loop system, stability is a problem. So we have to take care of each and every component in the entire setup, so that we can maintain the output with less fluctuation. Output will be having slight variations. With less fluctuations we need, then we have to take extra care. Bandwidth is less in open loop, and in closed loop bandwidth is high. Feedback element is absent in the open loop and it is present in closed loop. Output measurement is not necessary in open loop, which means output, it will be basically depending on the input. Whatever input we give, straight away some sort of output will come. So each time we need not measure it. It is a standard, stable, so it will be fixed. But in the closed loop system, there will be slow variations. So we have to check each and every time whether the expected output is obtained or not. So output measurement is necessary in closed loop system. And here we have the external disturbances. Tell me.
Ma'am, what do you mean by stability when it comes to control system? Ma'am?
Stability means, for example, if you have a graph, x-axis we always take the input, and y-axis we take the output, and there will be as you supply the input, the output will be obtained in the system. And if this is the required, this dotted line is the required output, expected output. Let us say I am putting some value 1 here, dotted line 1 here. 1 is the expected output, and the graph what I am trying to draw is the practical output. This is the practical output. It will have small fluctuations. It will vary with respect to this dotted line. After some time, it will settle down. It will settle down either very close to this dotted line or exactly onto the dotted line. Exactly onto the dotted line, it is an ideal case. Ideal will never happen. So we can expect very close to the dotted line. For example, if this value is 1, the final expected output can be 1.2, otherwise 0.98, 1.1 or 0.95, 0.99, like that. Exactly 1 is very, very rare. This can be considered as the expected output is achieved. 1 is the expected output. 1 is the expected output. 1.1 or 0.99 also can be considered as expected output. And this is called stability. The output will vary. Output will keep on vary before coming to constant value. That constant is called stability. The output obtained in the system should be constant. That is called stability in control system. Okay. So there are many methods in the teaching plan. I was explaining root locus, RH criteria, Nyquist plot, polar plot. Everywhere we will be discussing stability. This is the basic graph what I have given in order to have idea on stability. Dotted line is the expected thing, but straight away we will not get the directly expected output. There will be some fluctuations in closed loop system, and after some time, as time passes on, it will settle down very close to the expected output. That is a final thing, which is called stable output. And if you see the ninth point, system will be affected by environmental changes, non-linearities in the component designed. When we say a resistor, it is 1 kilo ohm, exactly 1 kilo ohm, we can rarely observe. Slightly, when you measure the value of resistance, it will be 1.1 or 0.999, like that. So these are called non-linearities in the material. While designing the resistor, the raw material used, it should be heated properly to put the device, to manufacture the device. So everything will not happen ideally. So there will be small changes in the value, which is called non-linearity in the device. This non-linearity, external environmental changes, all this will affect the output, and we cannot do anything in the case of open loop system. But in the closed loop system, it can be corrected automatically because of the feedback connection given, and there is a constant follow-up for the expected output. So there will be slight corrections which can be taken place in the closed loop system. Already we have seen examples of open loop system, examples of closed loop system. Some examples we have seen in the previous class. We are putting minus over here, denominator will be plus in the transfer function. And if you put plus here, denominator will be minus in the transfer function. That is based on the calculation. And that calculation background, in the PPT of previous class, we have seen some calculations are there. And I told we will come with that in the third unit. We will go with the calculations in the third unit. So if you see here, this is the diagram of closed loop system. This is the diagram of closed loop system. And here some calculations are there. How that minus or plus is coming, background calculations are required. Only when we do that, we will understand. If you take minus here, denominator will come plus. If you take plus here, denominator will come minus. Okay, that is with respect to calculations, proof is there. And now this is oscillators, forward path, feedback path, and overall gain. A is open loop gain. AF is gain with feedback. AF is gain with feedback. A is gain without feedback. If you don't consider feedback, gain of the system is A. And this is gain with feedback in the system. Gain with feedback in the system. All these are oscillators topic in another subject. But above the horizontal line, it is our related control systems. And here you can see in the place of A, I am putting G of S, forward path gain, and H of S, which is feedback path gain. Overall transfer function or gain with feedback. Gain with feedback is G of S by 1 plus G of S H of S. This is about positive feedback. Here we are giving positive sign in the feedback. This is about positive feedback in the circuit. Positive feedback in the circuit. If I take negative feedback in the circuit, the same G of S, and in the feedback path it is H of S, and you take a error detector, and the symbol here should be minus, then it is called negative feedback. The symbol is minus, then it is called negative feedback. All other representations are same. Now if we consider transfer function for this, C of S by R of S is nothing but G of S divided by 1 plus G of S H of S. So negative feedback means denominator will be plus, positive feedback means denominator will be minus. And if you see here, in the case of positive feedback, this is also called as regenerative feedback. Regenerative feedback. Positive feedback is also called as regenerative feedback. Negative feedback is called degenerative feedback. Degenerative feedback. These are the other names for positive and negative feedback. Now, if you see the positive and negative feedback, in positive feedback, gain increases. Positive feedback, gain increases. If you see here 1 minus, denominator is less than 1. Okay, so denominator is a value less than 1. In this case, the overall gain increases. Overall gain increases. This is about positive feedback. Coming to the negative feedback, denominator, if you see, denominator is a value greater than 1. So the overall transfer function, which I am calling it as gain, with feedback, without feedback, if you compare, gain with feedback will be a lesser value compared to gain without feedback. Okay, so here what I am telling, gain decreases. The meaning of this is gain with feedback is a value less than gain without feedback. Okay, gain without feedback, and hence we call, when you connect the feedback, gain decreases. When you connect the feedback, gain decreases compared to the circuit without feedback. Okay, so this is the meaning, gain decreases. This is the meaning, gain decreases, and this happens in the negative feedback, but the stability will increase. Stability will increase in negative feedback. Stability will increase in negative feedback. In the previous class, I was telling stability means if you draw the graph for the output, this is the expected output, and the output practically obtained will be having some fluctuations. After some time, it will settle down very close to the expected value or exactly to the expected value. Okay, so this dark one is the practical output. This is the practical or obtained output. This dotted line, this one dotted line is the expected output. This is the expected output. Those fluctuations is called instability. Fluctuations is called instability. When it settles down close to the expected value, then we can call it a stable system. Now coming to negative feedback, we are having so many advantages. In the case of negative feedback. So stability, gain stability increases. Gain decreases, but there is stability. Gain stability increases in the negative feedback. Output obtained is constant. This is the first point we obtain in degenerative feedback. Other name for negative feedback is degenerative feedback. Second one, output obtained is accurate. And whatever output is there, it will be less sensitive to the external disturbances. Or non-linearities. All these are advantages when we connect the negative feedback. Non-linearities. So if the components are not ideal, then we will have output fluctuations. All this can be reduced in the case of negative feedback. And the last one, signal disturbances rejection is high. Signal disturbances, external disturbances, the rejection can be done. Rejection is high. All these are advantages in the case of degenerative feedback. Degenerative or negative feedback. And the opposite thing happens in the positive feedback. Gain will increase, but fluctuations will be more. It is less accuracy compared to the negative feedback. Okay. However, in the open loop system, output is inaccurate, totally inaccurate. But the positive feedback is better than open loop system, but it is not better than negative feedback. Positive feedback is better than open loop system, but it is not better than the negative feedback in the system. Okay, always negative feedback is better compared to the positive feedback. All these are the benefits and the varieties. Two different types of feedback we have seen. One is positive and negative, two types, and how the gain will be, how the transfer function will be, how the gain or transfer function will be in both these cases we have seen, and how the gain decreases but the stability increases in the case of negative feedback. We have discussed with the diagram by the side explain